Hey, everybody, welcome to FireTalk, where we take a look at what's happening in the world of Southeastern University athletics. I'm your host, Ken Ingle, and of course, the president of Southeastern University, my co-host, director of athletics, Drew Watson. It's great to have you back, man. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I was in New Orleans at NAI convention.
Oh, that was fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fun part about it is seeing colleagues.
Right, you get to hang out with friends, but the meetings are,
The meetings, going over bylaws, feels like 50 times before you vote on them. That's not so fun. But,
I get you. I know what that's all about, but we're glad you're back. And
thank you.
Have a great show today. Our special guest is the head men's and women's tennis coach, Drew Dickens. How you doing, Coach?
No, doing well. Thanks for having me on. Awesome. Long overdue is what people are telling me. I'm excited to be here.
No, it's great. And you guys are doing incredible things, and we're excited about it. And you are an alumnus, played tennis during your time as a student here. Actually, you were one of my wife's students, too, in education, because that was your major. How rewarding is it to coach the same program that you actually had the privilege to play for?
No, it means everything, I think. I think, graduating from here, I left here for a year, and I was teaching tennis, and had the opportunity to come back. And if it wasn't for Southeastern, I probably wouldn't have gone back, because I didn't want to do a master's. I was over school. But I thought, I love Southeastern. This place has been so good to me. So I will go back. I want to invest in the university more, and, ended up becoming the head coach. But it's so rewarding. It's why I continue to want to be here. I'm here now. After 5 years of being the head coach, and I love where the program's gone to, and keep it going.
Yeah, you're doing an amazing job, man.
Now, we met your freshman year, so it was my first year at Southeastern, and the AD at that time used to take the student-athlete leaders on a retreat.
Yeah.
So I remember you were one of the first people I met at Southeastern, and so to have you be the tennis coach now is really incredible. All right, so my question is, you have a unique situation from a coaching standpoint because you coach two teams. You coach a men's team and a women's team. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about the dynamic there. Like, when the men win and the women lose, or the women win and the men lose, how do you balance that? Being excited for one team, like, oh, so sorry,
No,
how does that work?
It's tough. So, their, ability to win has nothing to do with each other, right? So the men, obviously, they can win a match 7-0, and then the women can go out and lose 7-0. So I usually take the losses the hardest. I'll be honest, if we win, I kind of like, okay, that's what we came to do. It's what's expected. But whoever, if we lose, that's sort of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling usually the worst for whoever's struggling the most. And that's kind of just where my heart is. I wish it wasn't always like that, and I have to fake it. Because especially if I'm driving the van for the men's team and they've just won, I should be excited. Yeah. Like, it's not fair to them if I go in the van and I'm upset.
Right.
So I have to fake that, because that's not how I'm feeling. Like, I'm feeling for the ladies. I'm frustrated that we lost that match. So sometimes you have to pretend a little bit, but it does. Unless both teams win, it is hard.
Well, that's a good leadership lesson, right? I mean, as leaders, you can't just act the way you want to act and let your emotions flow out.
Yeah.
But I think about that scenario for you, and I'm like, man, would I secretly wish they both lost or they both won?
Sure.
Obviously, you want them both to win, but that conflict between, man, I'm so excited, but I'm so down. It's a tribute to you that you can manage that. It's so well.
Yeah, I think a great example. We just played Ave Maria, and our men won 4-3, and it was a huge win for them. Like, it was really hard to get that win, and it took a lot out of them to do it. And the women lost 3-4. And we had match points on one line to win the match. We went to 3-setters. The women gave everything they had, and they fought. And that's all you can expect, and that's what you're looking for. But, yeah, it is a long ride home. And the expectations of what we were supposed to do that day for the women's side, it wasn't met. And so it's okay to be frustrated. Sure. It's okay to be like, hey, that wasn't what we came to do, and we, let our guard down, and the other team deserves to beat us today. But again, it goes back to just faking it a little bit and still being able to see that perspective and still be happy for the men's team, because they deserve that from you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the season. You're having an amazing season with both men's and women's. The men are currently 13-3, ranked 6th in the nation. The women are 9-6 and ranked 5th, which is incredible. So tell us a little bit about each team and what the rest of the season looks like.
Yeah, I think we did some trips right off the bat. And I think for our men, I think they came into the season expecting that they should beat everybody. So everybody that they play, they feel like they deserve to win. So I think they had the confidence right from the beginning because they have a lot of seniors and grad students that are a bit older. So they've been there, they've done that, they've had those experiences, and that their expectation was pretty well known from the beginning. I think for our ladies, I think it took the road trips and a few big wins to realize, hey, this is how good you are.
Yeah.
This is where your level is, and that you can compete and beat any of these teams that you come up against. So that's just what they've done. I mean, we've traveled, we've played all the best teams. The women have played this year the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 ranked teams in the nation. So the schedule has just been set right from the beginning of like, this is who we are. And if you want to have the feeling of like winning and success, then you're gonna have to be able to beat somebody good. And that was just from the very beginning with sort of the attitude that we had about it. And they've rose up to the challenge. They've done amazing. I mean, both teams have really met the expectation, and they've done really well.
Yeah, what's left in the season?
We got to go play SCAD and
Okay.
Coastal. So those are 2 more conference matches that are really tough. And then we pretty much have our senior day, and then back at home against Eastern Florida State College, and then we're on to our conference and national tournament. So that's about what's left. Our conference is tough.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where we talked about from the beginning was, hey, we're in Florida. Like, there's no reason that tennis isn't really good in Florida, and that every team is just getting better. So if you want to have any type of success, you're going to need to be able to compete with the best teams, and our conference has just brought it. I mean, I think we should send 5 or 6 teams to the national tournament, and every team should go pretty far. I mean, we were talking, you have 4 or 5 teams that are in the top 10. So per gender. So everything's challenging, but that's fun. That's what we love to do, and it's sports. So like you want to play at like the highest level.
Now, the conference tournament is at Coastal Georgia.
Okay.
So the men and the women go there. And when I go to tennis matches, I have one job. I watch tennis, and then there's 2 words that they expect me to randomly scream out at any time. All right, the one is fire! All right?
You're expected to do
I'm
that,
expected.
huh? All
And,
right.
and then every now and then when it gets intense, they expect me to go, vamos!
Yeah.
All right, so...
Yeah.
How did all that happen? I mean, what was the...
I was just caught up in the excitement at the Nationals last year, and I just started just exclaiming these things because that's what you hear. Like, because when tennis is all spread out, so you've got 6 matches going on at the same time, and so they try and communicate with each other. Like the guy on court 1
Right.
tells the rest, "Hey, I just won that." So you'll hear a fire, and so then everybody else screams and.
All right, that gives a good context now.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool dynamic.
That helps. Now, when's the next home game?
It will be Eastern Florida State College.
Okay.
So that's coming up in about 2 weeks. And that'll be our senior day. So
Senior day. Okay,
yeah.
great. And remind everybody where home court is.
Bierman Tennis Center. So
Okay,
just
not
off
very far.
campus. It's not very far. And honestly, the facility's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great place. We can get all the matches on at one time. We go to a lot of conference matches, and they only have 6 courts. And so that's 12 matches, 6 courts. Obviously, your day's doubled. Yeah. And maybe you're not able to see your friend or the people that you want to see play. But at Bierman, everyone's on at the same time.
All right, excellent. Now, my wife and I, we play tennis a lot, and I think we're probably close to maybe trying out for the team.
That would be perfect.
It's
fine. You're automatically on.
When are
You're
those
on.
tryouts?
It's great. You don't even need to go to tryouts. You're on. So don't worry. You have a spot.
I'll have to work on a 3rd word to scream out.
That's right. You never know what's going to happen then.
Medic!
Well, Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We wish you the best as you close out this regular season and, of course, shoot for the conference championship and then off to the Nationals, right? That's what we're hoping for.
That's right. Thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, we got a sponsor, Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Between work and to-do lists, Publix knows your time is valuable, so let them help you regain time in your day by delivering groceries to your door. More at Publix.com/shop. Great service.
Yeah, it is. My wife uses that all the time. You get. See, I'm built like. Let me just run to the store. It's 3 minutes away.
Right. Yeah, you just want to go pick it up.
Just go pick it up. But, sometimes it just shows up at the door.
Yeah, well, thank goodness for wives who are organized and help us make it work. So grateful for that. Let's get into some of the athletic programs this week and what's going on. Let's talk about softball. Our softball team continued their hot streak by sweeping Thomas University, and Florida National last week. Pitchers Autumn Hunter and Kinsey Forrester highlighted an 8-0 shutout of the Nighthawks in the second game of the Thomas series. Third game featured an exciting ending. What we're going to watch here in a second, is that right?
Yeah, so we're down 2-1, one out in the bottom of the 7th, so obviously 2 more outs and we're done. Jamie Meade steps to the plate with runners on 2nd and 3rd.
Wow. We have the highlight.
Here we have the highlight.
He's on the home field.
Home field. She's gonna squeeze here. Squeeze bunt. All right, runner's going to go on the pitch. She scores to tie the game.
And
then,
oops. It's going to get away. One run
the
scores.
runner on second just keeps coming. Game over.
Wow. Scores.
So in one pitch, you go from down 2-1 to winning 3-2. And that's, they have won 21 of their last 23, this team.
They're doing incredibly well. So what's next for softball?
So big matchup this week. We face Coastal Georgia, who's the number 2 team in the conference. They only have, they have 1 loss as well at this point. So we play a single game at 4 o'clock on Thursday, tomorrow, and then we play a doubleheader at 12 and 2 on Friday.
And where are we ranked in conference right now?
We're first.
First, okay.
We are first. We have more wins than Coastal, so we're in first place, but we both have 1 loss, so we're tied for first technically.
All right, so they play tomorrow and then Friday, right?
Tomorrow at 4 and 12 and 2 on Friday here at home. So let's get out and support them.
You can get out and do it. Go Fire on that one. And then let's talk about track and field. Our track and field team finished again first in another 4 events at the Spikes Invitational at Embry-Riddle University last weekend. For the men, Davian Worrells took the 100-meter, holds the 2nd fastest time in the NAI so far. Devontae Vanderpool won the 110 hurdles, with Glenn Rogers taking 2nd. Mm-hmm. And then you look on the women's side, of course, Julia Rome took 1st in the 10K. Julia is currently 7th in the nation in that event. Ermiris Mendez hit the A standard for the 100-meter and holds the number 5 time in the nation. Those are great stats.
Yeah, both men's and women's track are getting it done. You know, it's an interesting dynamic there because they just come off indoor, just go right into outdoor. But yeah, I mean, we have top times in the NAIA on both the men's and women's sides of things this year. And Julia Rome, I mean, seems like she's in her 8th year of eligibility at this point because but it's her 5th year because of the COVID year. But, you know, she's one we don't want to lose next year. But, you know, we'll wish her the best as she goes on to her nursing career. But, you know, she's just been outstanding both on the track, in cross country, and off. Yeah. You know, excellent student, excellent person.
And both teams head to USF for the South Florida Invitational. That'll be this Friday and Saturday, right?
Yes.
And who are they going to be running against?
I have not looked at the field, but in those events, there's typically Power 5.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Power 5 competitors, and again, like we talked about before, you got to be careful how well you do, or you may not be invited back.
Right.
So,
No, exactly. Let's talk baseball. The Fire baseball team won the last weekend series against Ave Maria, taking 2 of the 3 games. Danny Batcher threw a 1-hitter and a 7-2 win in the series finale and has been named Sun Conference Player of the Week. Team returns to action later today against Florida National at Brewer Stadium with the first pitch scheduled for 4:30. The Fire will host number 25 Kaiser this Friday at 3 and 6 with the series finale on Saturday at noon. Where are they ranked now? They were number 1. Are they still number 1?
We're still number 1. We, as you just said, we dropped that game to Ave Maria. You know, and Ave Maria,
only 2nd loss, right?
2nd loss of the year. One was out of conference. One's in conference now. But you know, Ave Maria's in 2nd right now in baseball in the Sun Conference, so they're putting together a really good year, and beat us 6-4 in that 2nd game. It was good to see. Batcher and the team, bounce back in that 3rd game, and he was dominant in that 3rd game, and just kind of said, "Hey, that one's fine, but it's not going to happen again."
Right.
But as Drew said about tennis, Sun Conference baseball is just outstanding. So any time you face a Sun Conference team, it's going to be a battle, and certainly no less than with number 25 Kaiser coming to town. They are a rival in all sports, and we're looking forward to hosting them here.
Yeah, that'll be great. And again, that starts on Saturday at noon, right?
That's Friday.
Or Friday.
Friday at 3.
At 3. All right.
Yep.
All right. And then beach volleyball. Our beach volleyball team finished 5th in the Sun Conference and head to the playoffs this weekend in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Face off against number 4 William Carey. That's going to be at 9 a.m. on Friday. Should be a great match as the Fire faced the Crusaders last week. Were edged out 3-2 in that particular.
3-2. William Carey finished 4th, right above us. Now, the Sun Conference beach volleyball is a little different because we have affiliate members.
Okay.
So you may look at that and go, what is the Sun Conference tournament being played in Gulf Shores, Alabama for? Well, last year it was played in a Sun Conference site, so this year we're shifting it to site in the Southern States Conference. So our affiliate members are from the Southern States Conference. So that's why we're going to Gulf Shores, and we certainly wish the team the best. Hopefully they'll get William Carey back and advance in this tournament this weekend.
Yeah, well, Fire Athletics on top, as they always are.
Yeah, spring's
Grateful.
fun.
Yeah, it is. So thanks, everyone, for joining us for this week's episode of Fire Talk. Make sure you get out, support the baseball and softball teams this week. For all the latest news in Fire Athletics, visit seufire.com. You can find the game schedules there, as well as a link to watch all our home games for free. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful Easter. Take care, everybody.